Good morning, everybody. Here is the lesson that I wanted to show you. We plan on doing this together, but if you want to watch it ahead of time and get familiar with it before we start the lesson in class, that would be great. Okay, so just to review a few things here, we know from third grade you learned that to figure out area, we do length times width of a shape. It's usually a 2D shape. 2D means two-dimensional. Two-dimensional means it has two dimensions. It has the length and it has the width. There are two measurements for it. Okay, so here we have this picture, for example. What is the area of the rectangle? So you have one side and the other. You have only two dimensions here, two measurements. You have the width and the length, or you can call this the width and this the length, whichever way. Uh, and how would we figure out this one? 3 times 5. You would do 3 times 5 equals 15. And the answer is always in square. In this case, square inches. And why is it square? Because it's only two dimensions. Okay. Well, we also learned to find the area for a shape that is irregular. So if you have this shape, for example, how would you figure out the area of that shape? So one way we learned is to break this into, this is irregular, right? You break it into shapes that are regular, just like this one is regular, the yellow one. So how would you break this to make it to make it regular? So here, look at this. It's the same. I just cut it here. So then I have them here. Now I can figure out the area of this shape, which is length times width. So 3 times 3 equals 9. In this case, it's square inches. It's inches here, but don't forget the square. And this one is, if I go with the length times the width, 9 times 2 equals 18 square inches. Now I have to combine this. So 18 plus 9 equals 27 square inches. That would be your the total area of the shape. If it were just like this, we wouldn't be able to solve it that way. Okay. So now what happens to volume? Let's go to volume. Look at this picture here. It's the same thing. It's an irregular shape. So how would you solve for this one if it is irregular? Okay, how would we do this if it's an irregular shape? You have to do the same thing. You have to separate that shape into two regular prisms. Okay, so there are two ways you can do that. You can separate this as if this one goes down like this. So this shape would be, it's like two boxes. So there's like a box in the back. So this is one box. See, and I separated with from this box here. So this box is in the front. See, this box is in the front and that box is in the back. Right, so I have two boxes now. I can figure out the volume of them. Okay, so this one, remember to figure out volume, I'm going to do the green one first. Volume is length times width times height. So let's look for the length of this shape. So I'm going to look in the front. I have a 4. Let's look at the width, which is the side. Now be careful. This 6 is this whole thing. And I don't have the whole thing here. So I'm going to go to the other side and see. Oh, so this side here is 4. Well, if this side is 4, and you know this combined with the box in the back equals 6, so this side here would be a 2. This tiny bit here. So this side here is 4, and this little piece here would be a 2, because what is missing to get to a 6? A 2. Okay, and we need the height. The height is here. Okay, so the volume of this first box here is 4 times 4 is 16. 16. 4 times 4 is 16. Then you multiply by 2 equals 32. So this is 32 cubic. Remember, now it's cubic because it has 3 dimensions. Cubic centimeters because of the centimeters. Well, let's go and check the other shape now in the back. Okay, this one. So we need volume, length, width, and height. So here, let's look at the front, the box. Well, if this is the same as this, right? Which is the same as this one's. Look, they have the same length. It's 4. 4 times width. The width is the side. Look at the side here. 2. And the height. This is the whole height of the box in the back. So 4 times 2 is 8. And 8 times 7 is 56 cubic centimeters. Okay, so now you have to combine the 56 plus the 32, and that will be your total answer. So it's 50 plus 30 is 80. 6 plus 2 is 8. So it's 88 cubic centimeters would be your answer to this picture. So one thing I need to point out is that when you separate the boxes, right? You have to be careful because sometimes you're separating. I'm going to erase this whole thing here so you can see what I'm talking about. When you separate the boxes, you are also, when I separated it here, that box here, from the back from the front, I am splitting this number. So you have to be careful with that because that's going to happen. And if you chose to do it a different way, because you could have done the split this way back here, you could have split the box like this. So you have this top box and you have the bottom box. You can, but remember when you split that box here, you're splitting the height. Look, the height is 7 for both boxes together. But now this box has this height and the bottom has this height here. Well, if you look, you have to play detective. And I love this kind of thing because if I look at this, here is 2, right? Well, this side is also 2. This side is also 2. So guess what? This is the thing. So what would this, but look at this. I don't even have 2. Look at the height of this one. It's the same here, 5, which is the same as this back here, which is 5. And 5 plus 2 equals the 7 that you have. Okay. All right. So I have one more, and then you're going to try to do some in your book. Okay. So here the shape and size of a storage building are shown in the figure. The building supervisor wants to find the volume to determine how much storage space is available. So this is actually a storage building. It's just you look at the outside. So how would you figure out the volume of this shape? So again, it's two different shapes. You can think of two boxes, a tall one and a short one in the back. So you can break this box like this. So now what I did is there is a box and this is the box standing in the back. Okay, this is the box in the back. And then you have the box in the front. Okay, so you have to do the same thing. Now remember, you split here. Look at this number is going to be split. But let's see if we have all the numbers we need just by looking at this shape. So this shape, I would need the length, the height, and the width. The width is the side of it. So the length is here. Well, look at this side here. This side is 4, so this side is also 4. So the length is 4. The width is the side of the box is 9. And the height is 12, is here. So I had my three numbers. You just have to understand what they are. Okay, so then you would multiply these three numbers. For the pink one, and I'm not going to multiply them now, but you would multiply 4 times 9 is 36. And then 36 times 12 would give you, it's going to be a big number, right? We are talking about a building. Now you go and you try the pink one. The pink one, look at, you have three measurements here. Could they be the three you need? So this could be one, the length, the height, or the width, the height. I like to look at the front as my length. I always look at the front as my length. Well, this, I don't have a number here because 10 is the total, right? Well, look at the top. These are the same. Well, this number here is the same. It's 6. 6. That's another thing important about knowing your shapes is you know that one side is equal to the other side. So this is 6 for length. I'm going to put it here. Times the width is the side, which is 9, times the height. The height is this part here, right? Or this part here, which is 7. And then you do 6 times 9 is 54. And 54 times 7, you would get your answer for this one here. Okay, so this is actually a box in front of this box here. So you just have to be careful. You are separating those two boxes. Okay, so we will do it in class too, but it would be great if you could watch this beforehand to kind of help you with that. All right, so I'll see you in class with this lesson. Bye.